Welcome to On This Day, today being the 12th of February, and today's fun facts will be on volcanoes. But before we get started, let's tell you a little bit about what On This Day is. So on this day we take a day from history, today being the 12th of February. We look at some births, some deaths, well, some people who were born and some people who have died, let's be fair, and some facts about the day. Today there's just 9, and then we got 10 facts about volcanoes, maybe a little bit more. Let's see. So, first of all, born on this day in 1947 was my mum. She was born in Petersfield, Hampshire. Happy birthday, Mum. In 1809, Abraham Lincoln, the 16th US president for the Republican Party. He was the president between 1861 and 1865, was born in Hardin County in Kentucky. He died in 1865. So I guess once he'd done his bit, he died. Never mind. Also in 1909, Charles Darwin, the English naturalist, the man who wrote The Origins of Species, conceived the theory of evolution by natural selection, was born in Shrewsbury in Shropshire. He died in 1882. He's the man that religion hates. In 1950, Michael Ironside, Canadian actor, things like Starship Troopers, was also in V. I don't know if anyone remembers V from the 80s, early 90s. Great sci-fi show set in Los Angeles. Loved it. Yeah, he was born anyway in Toronto, Ontario, Canada. Who died on this day in 1854. Jane Grey, Queen of England for 9 days. She was beheaded at 16 for treason. How could a queen be beheaded for treason? I'm not sure. Don't worry about it. And in 1993, James Bolger, an English child, was abducted, tortured and beaten to death at the age of 2 by a couple of 10-year-old boys. It's a sad day, that one. And then in 2019, England's World Cup winning goalkeeper Gordon Banks died. He obviously famously won the World Cup in 1966. Also done, what many regard still as the greatest ever save from a header from Pele in 1970. 77 England caps. He died of kidney cancer at the age of 81. So some facts of what happened on this day then. So in 1777, Captain James Cook arrived at Queen Charlotte Sound in New Zealand aboard Resolution on his fair trip to the Pacific Ocean. In 1851, Edward Hargreaves and 3 other men discovered gold at Ophir in New South Wales, beginning Australia's first gold rush. In 1879, the first artificial ice rink of North America was built at Madison Square Garden in New York City. In shocking one here, we got Hitler, but it's not the 1930s, it's 1915. Hitler receives a relatively common Iron Cross second class for bravery in the First World War. And also in World War I, in 1915, Kaiser Wilhelm approves the strategic bombing of London's docks. In 1921, Winston Churchill becomes British Minister of the Colonies. This is before he obviously became Prime Minister. In 1941, Jewish Council of Amsterdam forms under Usher and Cohen. In 1950, Albert Einstein, he warns against the hydrogen bomb. In 2019, NASA data shows the world has got greener by 5%, more leafier since 2000s. Mostly due to tree planting in China, intensive farming in India. In 2019, rare black panther spotted for the first time in nearly 100 years in Lepika County in Kenya. So that was good news. So it's not all bad news. There are some good things going on. So some fun facts then about volcanoes. Volcanoes are openings of the Earth's surface where volcanoes erupt, lava, ash and gas is expelled from it. The hole at the top of it is known as a volcanic crater. The word volcano comes from the word Vulcan, who was the Roman god of fire. Volcanoes can be active, dormant or extinct. So these are the 3 basic definitions An active volcano is one that has erupted within the last 10,000 years, or it has some type of activity going on. This activity could be anything from gases being released or even earthquakes around it. A dormant volcano is one that hasn't erupted in the last 10,000 years, however, there is a chance it could erupt again at some point. And an extinct volcano is one that hasn't erupted in the last 10,000 years and is unlikely to erupt in the future. I would say there's quite a similarity personally between a dormant and an extinct. Volcanoes hold very hot liquid called magma. Magma is a rock that is so hot it turns into liquid. It glows bright orange and is held in a chamber within the cold volcano. Lava is a liquid that is expelled from the volcano. Once the volcano erupts, the magma will come out of the top of the volcano. After it has left the volcano, it is called lava. It's the same thing, it's just got a different name. It's a bit like meteors, and meteorites. Once the lava is cooled down, it will turn into solid rock, and that's how we get places like Hawaii. Lava is very hot. It can get up to 1,250 Celsius. It makes volcanoes very dangerous, and it is why it should be avoided. Each volcano has a different level of risk, which should always be researched before visiting. There are volcanoes on other planets too. The largest volcano in our solar system isn't on planet Earth, it's on Mars. The volcano is called Olympic Mons. There are around 1,500 volcanoes in the world. Most volcanoes are found in countries that have coastlines on the Pacific Ocean. Luckily in the UK, we have no active volcanoes, but to be fair, we are quite a long way from the Pacific here in the North Atlantic. The largest volcano on Earth is in Hawaii. It's called Mauna Loa. The sea level is at 4,169 meters high. However, under the sea, it goes down another 5,000 meters. This would make it higher than Mount Everest. Since 1843, it has erupted 33 times, so it's pretty darn active. Volcanoes often occur where tectonic plates meet. Tectonic plates are like puzzle pieces that cover the Earth. They are underneath the ground. The plates always move very slowly, but when the plates move suddenly, they can cause an earthquake. The most active volcanic area on Earth is in the South Pacific, areas known as the Ring of Fire. Jupiter's fifth moon, Io, is the most volcanically active body in the solar system. Plumes of sulfur spewed upwards as high as 1,900 miles, 300 kilometers. The surface of Io is scorched with lava lakes and floodplains of liquid rocks. Astronomers have mapped about 150 volcanoes on the moon, some of which blast lava 250 miles or 400 kilometers into space. There are volcanoes all over Io's surface, and as scientists perform observations, they still occasionally see new hotspots pop up. It is basically hell on the surface, and it's incredible how they are actually still able to check this out, bearing in mind that it's around Jupiter, which is quite a long way away. Anyway, this has been Matt, you're in the shed. I am Andy P. This has been On This Day. I hope you've enjoyed it. Hope you learned something. See you tomorrow. See you, pals.